Did you know that before you even log in to your ThinkorSwim desktop application, there is a settings cog down here in the bottom left of your login modal? What you should be doing is clicking into that and down into this memory usage section. This is the min and max value of the amount of bytes that the random access memory of your machine's hardware is allowed to allocate to the ThinkorSwim application. And by default, these are set to the minimum numbers. What just about everybody needs to be doing, like unless you have a computer from 2005, what everybody needs to be doing is raising these min and max values. I have 64 gigabytes of RAM, which is a lot, so I have these numbers set to pretty high. What you need to do is you need to adjust the min and max values up. Then once you log into ThinkorSwim, you need to open up your task manager and you want to land around 60% memory usage. If you start to get above that, like 80, 90% memory usage, it can make your machine act a little choppy. So don't go too high, but you want as much hardware allocated to your ThinkorSwim application as possible so that the application runs more smoothly. That's setting number one in today's video that you need to change to trade more efficiently within ThinkorSwim. We've got 9 more to cover, so let's keep going right now. Now that you are logged in to your ThinkorSwim desktop application, I want you to go to Setup in the top right and into the application settings. This one is very, very important. You are going to come down into System and you are going to ensure that your quote speed is real time, no delay. By default, Charles Schwab and ThinkorSwim has this set to a moderate max delay of 3 seconds, which means the quote of the ticker you're watching is typically delayed by 3 seconds. Now for like most people that are just investing in stocks and then kind of forgetting about them, this is fine, and that's why ThinkorSwim does it. It helps ease the load on their servers, and it's perfectly fine for most people. But for those of us watching a video like this one, we are likely to be active traders. And if you're an active trader, you definitely need to have real-time quote data. So turn that on, and then I promise once you do, if you've been using ThinkorSwim for any amount of time without doing that, your life will change because you will notice immediately now the time and sales is live updating. The ticks are happening in real time with what is actually occurring, the volume that is actually occurring at that second rather than being that 3-second delay. Now within this same application settings modal, let me show you a couple of settings that you should adjust to make your actual order placement a lot smoother. I want you to hop up into the active trader sub tab here, and I don't remember exactly what the default values for these two settings are, but this is what I have mine set to. Your active trader order submission rate limit, I set mine to 500 milliseconds. What this means is that you can only place an order if they are at least 500 milliseconds apart. Essentially, this is going to keep you from accidentally double clicking. How many times have you accidentally went to buy shares and your mouse double clicks on buy market and you buy too many? You buy double what you wanted to buy. This prevents that from happening. Auto center your active trade price ladder every 3 seconds. What that means, let me go ahead and open up actually the active trade so you can get an idea of what I mean here. If I zoom away from the current price on my active trade, then take the mouse off, in 3 seconds, it will auto recenter that. I find that to be a good amount of time to jump back up so I can see the current levels that are happening. Of course, if you want a little longer, if you want a little shorter, feel free to adjust that accordingly. And then next you can hop on over into the order defaults tab here. And this is where you can set up the quantity of orders and the order quantity increment for the trade you would like to take. Now these default order types, I don't worry about at all because when using the active trade window, and we'll get to some settings on this in just a second, you're going to set up the buttons for the order types that you would like to use. You do that inherently by default when setting up your active trader. So those settings don't matter, but this default quantity of orders and order quantity increment do matter. So what this means, of course, if I load in a new stock or load in a new active trader window, my quantity is at 100 as that is my default and my increment is 10. So if I wanted to buy, or if I hit if I hit this plus key here, I'm going to 110, 120, 130 minus back down by 10. So you can set that up sort of with your typical default quantity. Most traders tend to have like a typical roundabout quantity they trade, at least. They won't always be the same, but you can set that up so that it takes up less time having to come in and try to like quickly type in an exact quantity of orders, remembering to hit enter, all that stuff. If you're scalping, if you're much more quickly trading and you tend to trade about the same number of shares, set that up as such so that you can easily adjust it to fit your trading goals. Now let's come over and talk about our active trader window. This is the tool that I think makes ThinkorSwim the best free active trading software. This tool is so incredibly powerful if you know how to use it correctly. And I'm going to give you a couple of settings right now that will make it more efficient for you. So the way that I am trading nowadays is almost exclusively swing trading mega cap stocks. Like I like to swing trade Nvidia, Tesla, SPY ETF. I swing trade these kinds of things. So since I'm trading such large stocks with such heavy volume and such small spreads, I'm pretty much always using market orders, because with the size I trade against the amount of trades that happen every millisecond on stocks like this, I have no concern about moving the price of the stock or being affected by the spread or anything like that. So I use market orders. But for many of you out there, you will be more actively trading stocks with not so high volume and a little bit worse spreads. Like if I come down to the 5-minute chart of HIMS right now, you can see that the bid is at 42.24 and moving around, of course, and the ask is at 42.31. There's pretty much always a 5-6 cent spread on this thing. You probably don't just want to be spamming market orders on a stock like this. So if you don't want to do that, you're going to click on this little cog here within your active trader window, and that is going to bring up a modal in which you can edit the buttons that are showing. And you, of course, would go to something like buy the bid and sell the ask. Of course, you can also buy ask or sell bid, set it up however you like to trade. For this example, I will go with buy bid and sell ask. Next, this can be dragged on your current set. So they will show in order based off where they are from the top down in your current set. Just for example, let me click OK and I'll show you these buttons are going to be at the very end of your list, right? Of course, if you want them at the top, you simply grab and drag, and I now have those buttons at the top. So I can now one-click buy, or one-click place an order, should I say, at the bid to enter, and I can one-click place an order at the ask to exit rather than spamming market orders. Next, I want you to make sure that you have this auto send checkbox turned on. I believe by default, this isn't even turned on in active trade window. So I want you to look up, that auto send on or off available item, double click it to add it to your current set. What this is going to do, of course, if checked, if I were to go and hit buy market, I would immediately have that order placed into the open market. Whereas if this is unchecked, and I hit buy market, I get like a pop-up modal that comes up that shows me where I would be placing my order. I then have to go down and confirm, click OK on that. And if you are actively trading, especially intraday, these fast-moving stocks, that like extra 3 seconds, an extra click you have to make could make all the difference. So you likely, as an active trader, want to have your auto send, first off, have this option available in your active trader window, and then have it checked so that you don't have to go through that extra click of confirmation whenever you are placing an order. Finally, the last thing I'll talk about within the active trade modal is this TIF button. What this stands for is time and force, and if you are trading during normal market hours, you should keep this as day. It will function exactly like you would like it to. But if you are interested in trading pre-market or after hours, and with Charles Schwab, pre-market trading starts at 7 a.m., so 2.5 hours before market open, and you can trade after hours all the way up until 8 p.m. So you can't, like, you aren't only confined to being able to trade during normal market hours. You can take advantage of moves outside of normal market hours as well. But to do that, you need to set your time and force to extended rather than day. When you do that, that will allow you to trade outside of the normal market hour. So it's important that you have this button turned on if you're interested in that sort of trading. Next, let's talk links. Have you ever noticed this little link icon here next to where you enter the ticker you would like to chart? Well, this is a very powerful tool within ThinkorSwim. If I go ahead and set this to yellow, and then I open up my left-hand pane here that is full of watch lists, you will also notice I'm running my PPS buy watch list here, which I run and I'm sorting top down by a column with the RSI on the 5-minute chart. So essentially, stocks that are the strongest on this scanner right now will appear at the top of the charts. Well, since I also have this watch list linked to yellow, now whenever a stock pops up to the top of this chart, I can simply click on it and wow, look at this ticker. I don't know what this is, but it's going a little bit berserk. The chart will automatically populate onto the chart that is also linked with yellow. So now as new stocks appear on the scanner, all I have to do is click on them and they immediately populate onto my chart. Once again, because this chart and this watch list share the same link. Linking is also uber powerful when talking about flexible grids. So still within my charts tab here, I'm going to now click into the flexible grids sub tab. And this is where I have my intraday trading setup. I have a daily chart in the top left. I have a 1 hour chart in the top right. Then I have my 1 minute chart and I have my active trader window so that I can place trades. This is just a great way for me to always have sort of the big picture in mind, not just get too hyper focused on what's happening in this 1 minute chart, but also keeping an eye on the bias of the daily and the 1 hour chart to help with my decisions for which direction I should be focusing on the smaller time frame. Anyway, you'll notice that all of these options, all of these boxes, all of these grids, should I say, have the same link color. They are all set to red 1. So if I wanted to go trade NVIDIA instead of SPY, if I type NVIDIA into this one box here, it will show up in every single chart. And not to mention, very importantly, also also change on the active trade window. So I only need to change the ticker in one place to change the setting on every single grid, which is of course extremely important when clicking through multiple different stocks when talking about intraday trading. Now, let me show you something very cool. If I were interested in trading options on NVIDIA, this is what I would do. I would change the link color. Let's go with 3 blue on this bottom chart and on this active trade window to 3 blue. Now, hopping on over into my trade tab, which is where, and NVIDIA's already loaded, that's kind of funny, where I can see the options chains for the ticker. If I looked at the most closest expiration and the at the money calls for NVIDIA, what I just did was I right-clicked anywhere within this options chain. You can right-click and I can come down to this send this chain to 3 blue. As I click on that and come back into my charts, I now have the price action of this options chain charted on a 1 minute chart, just like I would a ticker. And I mean, super powerful. I have the ticker, or sorry, the options chain loaded into my active trade window, and you can see the ladder moving here. I can see the number at the bid and the number at the ask. And I can now utilize the powerful active trade window functionality in ThinkorSwim to trade options at one click rather than having to go through the trade tab and like go through all the confirmation windows here. I can just simply hit, and once again, since I have my auto send turned on, I could simply come in, click buy ask, and with one click buy the option, I could come in and sell the bid, and with one click sell the option. So I can now chart and trade options just as easily as I can chart and trade tickers. Next, I want to talk about alerts, how to automate them, how to even get text messages and or email alerts sent to you, and just the rest of the functionality of this also very useful tool that comes with a free platform that is ThinkorSwim. Say I want to know the next time that the next time that Nvidia is trading down at this 113 level. If it gets down and starts trading down here towards this double bottom, I want to be alerted. All I need to do is right click at the price that I would like the alert to be triggered at on the chart, and I can come down and click create alert. Now, of course, you can change the price to be exactly what you want it to be. This will auto-populate with exactly where you right-clicked, but if you want it to be 113, type in 113. When the mark, that is just the current price, is at or below, of course, if you want to see a higher alert, you could set it to at or above. Then if it goes above that level, you will be alerted. But for one like this, of course, we want at or below. Then I want to be alerted. As I hit create and remove the drawing, you will now see the alert populated on the chart. Also, if I come into my market watch here and into the alerts subtab, I can see that that alert is active. Nvidia triggered mark or below 113, and it even shows me the current price. Now back within your application settings. So that first modal we opened at the beginning of this video, under setup and application settings, you can come into the notifications tab. And of course, this is where you would then enter an email address and a phone number that you would like alerts sent to. Of course, you would then choose what you would like to be notified about. And one of those checkboxes is when an alert is triggered. So if you would like either an email or a text message or both when Nvidia does break below 113 again, you would of course enter those in here. Now you're going to right click on this alert from your Market Watch Alerts tab, and you are going to go to Alert Notifications. You will then of course be able to choose to send your push notifications to your mobile device, and mine are grayed out right now because I didn't enter my email or phone number, largely because I didn't want to put those publicly on YouTube. I love you guys, but I don't want you texting my phone. Once you have those entered, these checkboxes will be available for you to either have an email sent or a text message sent when these alerts are true. I have now turned on one of my custom coded strategies, and we're not going to get into custom coding in this video. This is more of a simple 101 ThinkorSwim tips and tricks, but if you're interested in coding, it's what we do on this channel, so make sure you're subscribed. But anyway, I've turned on my reversal strategy, and when the strategy enters is when the stock is both above its 200 simple moving average, which is this cyan line plotted on the chart, and below 40 on the RSI. Those are the entrance conditions for this strategy. So of course, I want to have an alert set up for the next time that is true on Nvidia. Well, just as I created this first alert, you can simply right click on the chart, come down to create alert. This time we're gonna change the reason for the alert from just a price mark, and we're going to come down to study, and I'm going to hop into this edit modal here. It's already actually populated one of my default ones, but I'm just going to go ahead and wipe this. So this is where I can begin to build custom conditions for why an alert goes off. And as I mentioned, this is not going to be a code conversation, so I'm not going to do a tutorial here, but I'll just show you. When the close is above the simple moving average with a length set equal to 200 and the RSI value is less than 40. That is my condition for entrance. When that is true, I would like to be alerted. So now I hit OK, and you can see that I will be alerted when the study is true. As I create this, I can once again hop back over into my Market Watch tab, and I can see this alert is active, currently false, of course, and the trigger is when the current price closes above the 200 simple moving average and the RSI is less than 40. So you can also set up alerts based on custom conditions rather than just basic price levels. Like I said, we're not going to get too deep into it today, but if you are at all interested in the custom coded strategy, the backtest study labels you saw on the top, or even that alert code, they, along with over 120 other custom ThinkorSwim codes, are available for easy import into your application over on my website, daytradingstrategies.net. It'll be linked in the description down below. Go click on the link, read the reviews, go into our codes, decide if the price is something that sounds good for you, sign up today, and begin accelerating your trading journey. Something else that you can build custom codes into within ThinkorSwim, and something else that I offer on my site, actually I really enjoy building these, is custom scanners. And we can set up alerts on these custom scanners as well. Let's get into that now. So this is the scan condition for that same exact strategy that I just showed. Low is greater than the simple moving average over 200. I sort of forgot that I used low instead of close, so I would need to go fix that alert. I was thinking close when I made it, but whatever. The low of the candle is better than the 200 simple moving average, and the RSI is less than 40. These are the stocks in which that is true right now. For example, Amazon is on the list. Whoops. If I go over and into Amazon, you will see the strategy running on this chart, and it has actually begun scaling in for the last 3 days, and actually currently today getting a bounce, which looks pretty good. But anyway, so the way I just set up the alert on NVIDIA, if you wanted to see and only trade specific stocks in which that setup is true, you would do it that way. But if you wanted to see any stock in which this is true, you would do it this way. So load up your left-hand pane again and load in the custom scanner. This one is called my DTS reversal swing trade scanner. So loading this into my custom watch list over here in the left-hand pane. Of course, once it loads, I will be able to see the results here, and I will be able to click through them and have them populate directly onto my chart. Once again, thanks to the linking that we discussed earlier, right? So we see Amazon, we see Tesla, we see SOUN, we see American Airlines, a lot of different stocks on the list right now. Well, we can set up alerts on this as well. I want you to now left click on the name of your watch list, and you can come down and you can click on this alert when scan results change, and you can now set up an event. Anytime a symbol is added to this scanner, you will get an alert. Now, since I'm creating this scanner, when I hit create, it's going to alert me on every single stock that is on it right now, because technically for the alert, they have all just been added. So you're about to see a huge alert pop up in the top left, which is actually a good example of what alerts look like in application. So keep an eye in the top left as I hit create here. Of course, every stock that's on the scanner right now immediately pops up. But over once again into our Market Watch Alerts tab, you will see that this alert is still active. Just because it alerted me on everything right now, it will continue to alert me when a new symbol is added to the scan results of our reversal swing trade scanner. Listen, y'all, I could unironically make a 2.5 hour long video about all the tips that I have learned in my 7-8 years now of using this platform. But we're 25 minutes in. We've already talked about a ton, from setting up the hardware of your system to make ThinkorSwim run more smoothly, some simple simple application settings that you need to change to make your app run more smoothly. We went through the active trade window, links and options and alerts and scans, all kinds of stuff we've already talked about. So I'm going to wrap up this one here. I think the title and like the intro was something like I'm going to give you 10 tips. I've probably already given you like 25. If you would like to see more of this, I can do a part 2, I can do a part 3, I can do a part 4. Like I said, I could talk about this application forever because I've been using it for a long time and I love it. The easiest way to let me know that is by either hitting the like button or letting me know in the comment section down below. So if you did learn something in this video, please do hit that like button. If you would like to continue learning, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It's free. Why not? And of course, if you are interested in any of my custom coded strategies, studies, scanners, I have alerts set up over there. I have conditional orders set up over there, which is something we didn't even talk about today. Maybe next time. But of course, all of that stuff, all 120 plus codes that you get access to for just one low price, available over on my website, daytradingstrategies.net. So check the link in the description down below. With all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign out of this video. I'll catch you all in the next one.